Hello there, guys. We have a clever little puzzle to look at today. White to move, and we're going to win this. And the key is to get this pawn promoted without black stopping it by playing bishop g2 and covering the promotion square here on a8. And the question is, of course, how are we going to do that? So you can now, I think, yeah, go ahead and pause the video, analyze this on your own, and see if you can find the full variation where white wins this. Go ahead. And welcome back. Okay, did you find it? Well, let's look at some options here. If we just start pushing our pawn here right away, black will immediately play bishop to g2 and covering the promotion square up here. Yes, we might get uh, a bishop for it, but really it doesn't help. Let's do something like this. Black will simply just sacrifice, and then he's gonna grab our pawn or start running his own pawn for that matter, of course. This is better for black. Anyway, this is not winning for white. This is actually losing. Even though if we wait one move and start grabbing the pawn here, even though black will just go round and get this pawn, we will have to sacrifice. Black have to sacrifice the bishop here, and it's going to be a draw. All right, so we have to be smarter than that. We cannot push the pawn right away. And grabbing the black pawn here is very, very stupid. Then black can take here with a check, grab this pawn, and then this one will make a victory for black. Okay, so we cannot move the king, we cannot move this pawn. There's no point in sacrificing our own pawn here. That will just give black another strong pawn to promote, so that's no business. Now we're gonna start with the knight. And we have two different options. Three, really. This could be something to protect up here, but again, we looked at that. Now black can grab this pawn, put the bishop in between. He will sacrifice there, and these two pawns will win it for black, actually. So what about a check here? Black will attack. He can do many things. Probably play king f4, and we can put our knight here. Now we're threatening to push our pawn, but again, black will place a bishop on g2. Whenever we push here, we will lose our knight and lose the game. And these are really trapped here. You cannot move any of these. Black will grab the pawn, and we will not win this. At best, we will get a draw. So the starting move, the correct one, is knight to e7 check. And this is setting up some nice traps. If black moves the king to e4, that's a very bad move. Then we can push the pawn. Now this diagonal is blocked. Here it's blocked by the king, so we will get the queen in the next move without black able to stop it. So king e4 is a very bad choice. King e5 is not good either, because then we will get a check on c6. Black will attack the knight, but since our knight is blocking this diagonal, we will get a queen here and we will win this. So what happens if he attacks here on e6 instead? Attacks the knight and making room for the bishop to come to g2. Can you see how white wins from here? Yes, we put the knight on d5 anyway. This is brilliant. If black takes it, well, then he cannot stop the pawn. If he ignores it and plays bishop g2 instead to get the diagonal, well, look at this. Then we have a nice little fork here, a check. We will grab the bishop, and then we will for sure win this. Even though, can look at this, and now black can stop our pawn like this. Then we will get this one. We will allow him to take this, but with the knight over, we will get this pawn and we will win this in the end anyway. Okay, so back to the check. If the king comes to f4 or f6, same will happen. We will come to d5 with a check, either there or there. The king has to move, and then we will push the pawn, and we will win. So the main variation then, instead, after knight e7 check, the king must come to g4. And now it's interesting. Now you can pause the video again if you haven't seen the variation up to this. White wins from here. Have a look at it on your own. Go ahead. Okay, here we go. So again, we need to stop this diagonal here and in order to get our pawn. But this is not achieving anything. Black will play g2, even though we have a check here. It's not good enough. It looks like we can put the knight here, but let me show you what happens. King f4. Perhaps we want to put the knight here and stop everything. Well, he will take. We will have to take back. And now these pawns will help us win. Will help black win. Or at least get a draw. This is probably, yeah, this is a draw. But this is not good enough. It's an interesting variation, but it seems that it's not quick enough for us to win. So we were looking at black playing king g4. This will not work. Instead, the knight has to come to d5. And we are now threatening, as you see, play a7 followed by a8 promotion. Black will play the only reasonable defense move here, bishop g2, threatening to take this. And if we move away the knight, well, then he has control over a8. So from here, can you see how white wins? Well, a check won't do anything. He will just attack it and leave the diagonal open. A check here won't do it because it's hanging, so he will just take our knight. So what could we possibly do? Well, we have a pawn here for a reason, of course. We're going to block it with the pawn. This is beautiful. Look at this. If black grabs this pawn, well, then we have a check here. We're going to take this, and then we're going to round the pawn. And we're also going to get a promotion with a tempo, with a check, which means these two pawns are too far away for black to really help him win this or save a draw. So after we play e4, black cannot take it. He can take it en passant, but then this square is suddenly open, so we can just take it back with a check on the king and on the bishop, and we'll grab it, and the same thing happens. We will later get a queen with a check, since the black king will be here on g2, and we will win this. So after this move, we play e4. All I can say is black just needs to resign here. This is winning for white. We don't have to check all these variations left to come. We will promote much quicker, and then we will use our queen to win this. A really nice little study, I think. It wasn't very easy. I think it was pretty hard, actually. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you tomorrow for another puzzle. Have a great day. Bye-bye.